Marvel just finished a 5-hour live stream announcing every cast member of Avengers Doomsday one by one. We gotta go over the craziest people in this movie and, more surprisingly, the people not in the film. And if you missed the live stream event itself, consider yourself lucky because it was literally 5 hours of looking at the name on the back of a chair. And for the first 2 hours, it was all people we knew before it started getting really crazy. Now we're actually gonna start with the most surprising names not announced to be in the cast for this movie because it's a shorter list and I really am surprised by some of these. There was no mention of Tom Holland as Spider-Man in this movie or Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda. Now, Wanda was always a long shot, but Spider-Man not being in Doomsday is kind of crazy. I guess it'll explain that in Spider-Man 4 because it takes place in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. And of course, since there's no Tom Holland Spider-Man, there was no mention of Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield coming back as their Spider-Man. Maybe they're saving that for Secret Wars if we do end up getting it. No mention of any of the Young Avengers or Champions whatsoever. Everybody thought they were going to be a big part of this film. No mention of the new Guardians of the Galaxy like Groot, Rocket, the rest of the gang, or Star-Lord himself, when it seemed like Chris Pratt was doing all the hinting he could to say he's going to be in this movie. So again, they're either keeping something secret for some reason after all the info they spilled, or they're actually just not in the film, save for Secret Wars. There was no mention of any of the Hulk actors, so it doesn't look like we're going to be getting regular Hulk, She-Hulk, a Red Hulk, just no Hulks all around, which is kind of disappointing. I do love seeing at least Mark Ruffalo pop into this. I thought it would have been cool to see Harrison Ford in this movie maybe, but again, maybe they're keeping the secret, or maybe they'll just be in Secret Wars instead. And lastly, there was no announcement for Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in this movie. While we didn't get them, we did get pretty much every other OG X-Men coming back in this film. We have Ian McKellen returning as Magneto, Patrick Stewart as Professor X, Alan Cummings as Nightcrawler, we have James Marsden as Cyclops himself, Rebecca Romijn as Mystique, and yes, Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Channing Tatum was the last of the X-Men announcements that we had, so again, if there's any other ones, they're keeping it a secret from us. I made a full video about the X-Men being in this and my theory about this now being an Avengers versus X-Men movie. I'll link that right now and at the end of the video too. Another one of the biggest surprises for this movie is Loki was confirmed. Tom Hiddleston will be coming back as this character, presumably as the god of stories that we saw at the end of Loki season 2. I'm a little worried about them ruining that because it was such a perfect ending for the character, but we gotta see. There was a very popular rumor months ago that's saying that these movies were actually going to be a race between Doctor Doom, the X-Men, and the Avengers trying to get to Loki first, so maybe they're actually doing that. Again, there were other rumors saying that maybe Loki's going to be the true villain of Secret Wars instead of Doom, so we got to see what they're cooking with this. When it comes to the new Avengers themselves, we know that Paul Rudd is coming back as Ant-Man. We're going to see Sam Wilson's Captain America. We're going to get Thor, Bucky Barnes, Danny Ramirez coming back as the Falcon that he was just in Captain America Brave New World, and Winston Duke will be returning as M'Baku. We also know that Shang-Chi will be in this film. I'm really glad they're including him in this. It's just a shame that we haven't gotten a Shang-Chi 2 in between his first movie and this Avengers film, but I'm happy he's at least here and can be a prominent member of this new Avengers team. We also know that Shuri as Black Panther will be in this movie, and new rumors are saying that Black Panther 3 will release in 2028, a year after Secret Wars. Presumably still her as the Black Panther, but we don't know yet. Probably the least surprising announcement is that the entire Fantastic Four will be returning in this movie. I think everybody expected this, especially since Doctor Doom is the main villain of it, and that's their main villain. Reed Richards better watch out because Namor is confirmed to be back in this film. Again, another villain that was great and more of an antagonist than a pure villain, but he was great in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm glad they're keeping him around and giving him more to do because, again, his ties to Sue Storm and the Secret Wars storyline in the comics, or at least one version of it, I'm glad he's here. Marvel pretty much went ahead and just spoiled the Thunderbolts for us by confirming who's going to be in Doomsday because they pretty much said, yeah, everybody from the Thunderbolts is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. The only person they didn't mention is Taskmaster, so maybe she's dead. Yes, I am including Sentry in this. They did confirm that Lewis Pullman is going to be returning in this movie as Sentry. Even though it kind of sucks knowing that going in, I am glad that it seems like Sentry is going to be around for multiple movies. They're not wasting him in one film and killing him off with how powerful he is, because that is a mistake the MCU makes a lot. And then this ridiculously long live stream finally ended with RDJ walking out onto the set here after all these rows of 50 chairs, and he sat down in the Doctor Doom chair, obviously. This is so much information. I'm going to start cooking a million different theories in my head, but if you want to hear my theories about how the X-Men are going to play a role in this and the possibility of this being an Avengers versus X-Men movie, tap the playlist above. It's the first video in there.